Hi there, my name is Jordan. I'm the founder of Carbonbox Media. My team and I have over $25 million in ad spend. We've helped 50 plus different businesses and coaches get either more qualified leads, more calls booked, more courses sold, or just more conversions done in general. I want to share, basically, based on my experience in the agency space, what I believe the fastest and smartest way to get to 10K a month really is. Now, I'm sure you've seen titles like this all over the place. There's a bunch of gurus explaining this with a similar video title, with a similar video in general. But there's gurus with good advice and there's gurus with bad advice. And I want to have an unbiased perspective just based on what worked with me. And if you could cookie cutter that into your current situation, that's the point of this video. So I grew my agency to 10K a month within 3 months. And now, a year and a half later, I'm in the high multi six figure mark. I can genuinely say that I finally feel qualified to talk about this subject. If you're looking to start an agency, if you're looking to grow your current agency, or just start a business in general, I believe that a lot of these tactics that I'm going to be going over can be applied to your business. So let's jump straight in. So, the number one thing you need to ask yourself first is, what skills do I currently have? And I sort of like to think of this as a video game, right? I don't know if you've ever played Skyrim or Dark Souls or any RPG for that matter, but essentially you can shift through different classes and each class has higher base stats than the other class. So let's say you're a knight, for example. A knight is going to have higher strength than a mage. Let's say you want to be a mage. Well, the mage is going to have higher magic than the knight. So it really all depends on where you want to start and what character or what brand you want to build over a long enough period. Hope that makes sense. Just to say an example, I was a music producer. I still am a music producer. I do it on the side, but that's for another video. And essentially, I learned how to build up my social media profile. And then from there, I would build funnels to sell my beats, right? I would build funnels to sell my beats to rappers, and I would make loops and samples that producers could buy to make their own beats, right? From there, and this is a little bit nerdy, but I built up a Call of Duty Instagram page. And using the organic reach I built on that Instagram page, I would drop ship, right? So I knew that I had an above baseline knowledge in funnel building and e-commerce. So selling digital products and selling real products in real time. So I transferred that knowledge into the coaching and the e-commerce world, right? You need to ask yourself, what skills do I currently have that's going to give me an advantage when first starting out? What's going to put me just that much more ahead of the curve? Because to be honest, if you're a noob, which you are, I was, you need all the help that you can get. So, number two, hire somebody that's better than you. And before I go further, I can already hear countless people thinking that they can just hire somebody for $500, whether that's a media buyer, whether that's an email marketer, whether that's somebody better in their field, and they can charge their clients $1,500. And the truth of the matter is, you can. But here's the thing, number one, you're going to run a shitty business. And number two, you're not going to learn anything. So good luck surviving past 2 months, because if you're not learning anything and you're just leaving this up to somebody else, it's not going to go well if you don't have any systems in place. When I started out, I interviewed over 100 different media buyers. And when I was selling beats with my funnels, the amount of ad spend I put into it was maybe $5,000. This was back in 2018, 2019. But I had a minimum requirement that the person that I was going to hire needed to have at least 50x more ad spend experience than me. Before they applied in the resume, I told them the industry I was reaching out to, what to expect in regards to delivery. Can you send me some of your current results you're getting for your other accounts? And lastly, I made it crystal clear that I wanted to hop on calls with them and see how they would structure their campaigns so I could learn and take notes. I asked them what they charged per account, and when I reached out to clients, I just charged them 25% more. That's why I call it the paid membership, is you're literally getting paid to learn from an expert who has way more experience than you. The last thing is, you need to make damn sure that you're on every single call with your new hiree. The idea here is to kill two birds with one stone by hiring an expert who can actually deliver in the industry you're reaching out to, while at the same time, you gain experience in the field in the absolute fastest way possible. The good news is you don't have to pay them until you sign your first client. And so, a little hack is when you are doing outreach and you do start booking calls, pay your new hiree like $50 to jump on the call with you. If he can get on that call and explain things better than you can, it's really going to be worth your money because the chances of you closing this client are going to be significantly higher. Number 3, how to hire someone. Now, I'm going to make a video going more in depth on this, just going through the key factors, step-by-step process, but the things that you need to know are the following. Number 1, you need to see what accounts they're currently managing, right? Are the accounts they're showing you up to date? What niches are they currently working in? How much money have they spent so far? What is their overall ROAS? What is the respond rate if they're looking for an email marketer? Whatever professional you're looking for, you need to see the live results that they're currently getting, and they need to have the experience to back it up. So if they ever sound sketchy or just dodging the question in general, that's an immediate red flag, and I would probably move on to the next interview, right? Ensuring that they have legitimate experience in their industry is key, right? If they don't, you're wasting your time, and your clients that you sign in the future, you're going to be wasting their time, and you're not going to learn anything, and the client, the poor client, is going to get poor results. Number 2, availability. You need to make sure that your schedules align. If they don't, well, maybe make an adjustment within your schedule. Why? Because you want to be able to hop on a call with this expert and learn in the fastest possible way. Finding out your new hiree's schedule is going to be vital for your learning process. Do your schedules align? If not, by how much? Are you able to adjust your schedule? Are they able to adjust their schedule? If you're going to learn from this person, you need to be there when the person is working, right? Finding a time that works with both of you needs to be stated before you actually hire them. Number 3, are they even cool with you hopping on a call with them? If they're not, time is a very precious resource, right? So they need to be okay with you hopping on a call, right? If you need to pay them a little bit extra, pay them a little bit extra. This is an investment into your future. What does Hormozy say? The S in me, 500. So if you have to pay a little bit more to gain an education in the fastest way possible, it's definitely worth it. You have to remember that even though you are paying this person, you can't be too demanding. Time is 100% the most valuable asset every human has. And if you're taking too much of it, or you're just being an asshole on the call, you're not going to survive, you're not going to learn, and you're not going to grow a business. If you both can find a time slot that works with your schedule, it can be the start of a beautiful thing. And in the future, you may even be able to hire them full time. Respect and reciprocity, my friends. Great. So now you have your first hiree. You're willing to work with their schedule. They're willing to work with yours. Everybody's happy. And this is the start to a beautiful relationship. So now it's time to do number 4, outreach. And unless you have money to invest in ads, your best bet to get your first sales call is going to be direct response marketing. This could be Instagram DMs. This could be cold email. This could be joining Facebook groups. This could be LinkedIn connections. Basically, any way to directly contact the person that you're trying to reach out to. Now, there are some great tools to automate this, Instantly.ai being one of them. I actually made a video on how to warm up your email for free using Instantly.ai. Feel free to check that out. But the rule of thumb, and this is a quote from the great Alex Hormozy, you need to spend either $100 a day or you need to send 100 direct response messages a day, right? In the beginning, I know 100 messages a day can be a bit daunting. So if you don't have the ad spend to spend $100 a day, I would shoot for around 20 cold emails a day, maybe 10 LinkedIn connections, and about 5 Instagram DMs. Just know that the more messages being sent out, the more sales calls you're going to get booked. And the more sales calls you get booked, the more experience you're going to have in regards to closing, what copy worked, what platform I'm doing outreach with is the most effective. I would personally recommend that you get about 5 different email domains. Why? Because each email domain can send about 20 emails a day just to keep you out of that spam range. And what's 20 times 5? That's 100. So if you have 5 different email domains sending 20 emails a day, you're going to land more clients. And if you use tools like Instantly.ai, you can automate this. So really the only thing you need to do is respond to the messages that you're getting back. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, that's all great, But what do I actually say in my outreach? Well, I'm glad you asked. So, before you start outreach to your specific industry, you need to think long and hard, even meditate about this, about the daily struggles that your client avatar is going through in regards to weekly struggles, monthly struggles, and yearly struggles, right? You need to create an avatar of who you're reaching out to. This could be John, this could be Lisa, and you need to think about all the BS that they're currently going through in their career. You need to understand what they're going through and why you are going to be the solution to their problem, why you're going to be the missing puzzle piece, right? Also, quick tip, the more personal you can make the message, the better. The more you can relate to their problems on a human level, the better it's going to come off. I'm sure you've been hit up by cold emails, spam, Instagram DMs, and you can tell it's some bot or it's a copy paste, and it really doesn't resonate with you at all. So you really need to understand what problems are they going through and how can I relate to them on a personal level in regards to I understand what you're going through. Here's what I offer. I can be the solution to your problem. I'd love to speak about this. What times work with you? Great. So you landed your first sales call. Let's talk about it. Number 5, sales. This is arguably the most important skill out of this entire video. Why? Because not only do you have to sell them on your service, but you then later have to sell them on your onboarding process, trusting the process, weekly update calls. You have to consistently reinforce to them why they made the right decision in working with you. So let's talk about the sales call itself. If they hopped on a call with you, it means that you piqued their interest, whether it's a great amount or a little bit, right? The bottom line is you piqued their interest enough to hop on a call with them. You can use that as leverage, right? Other than that, it's on you. You are asking for 30 minutes of this person's time that they are never going to get back. So you have to make sure that you make it a very valuable 30 minutes. Have a conversation with them, right? Don't act like you're working for your next commission check. And I know a lot of beginners run into this. I was somebody who ran into this. I read a bunch of sales book all about closing, 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 ABC, always be closing. Have a conversation with this person. You need to listen to them. You need to ask what problems they're currently going through, make a note of all the problems they're currently going through, and expand on those pain points until you know exactly what it is they need help with. You need to make a note of every single problem they tell you. Why? Because those are pain points. And if you can open up those pain points and expand on those until you know exactly what BS they're currently going through, that's going to be huge in regards to you offering yourself as the solution to their problem. A little hack here is to have your new hiree hop on the call with you. And I know I talked about this earlier on the video, but I cannot stress enough that if you don't feel confident, and I know a lot of beginners go through this, if you don't feel confident in regards to answering every question they're going to have, if you pay your hiree $50, $70 to hop on the call with you, it's well worth every penny because now you can showcase to this potential client that you guys know your shit. And that's very, very important. So once the client signs the contract and pays the first invoice, yes, you got paid, but they're really only 50% sold. Within the next 72 hours after they sign the contract, they're going to be consistently in their head going, did I make the right decision? I've been screwed over by agencies in the past. Oh, I just invested a bunch of money. You need to consistently reinforce that they made the right decision. So, depending on what the onboarding process is, hop on that onboarding process call. You have a lot to learn. Make sure everything goes smoothly. Make sure everything that they ask can be answered in person. If you have an onboarding document, great, send them that, but just make sure that you send in the email alongside the onboarding process. Hey, if you have any questions, here's my Calendly. Let's jump on a call and talk about this. If you don't have enough time, feel free to message me here via email or via Slack. I really want to make sure that I'm answering every question you have and just make sure that this goes as smoothly as possible. If there's anything I can do to help or make your life easier in any way, please let me know. Again, I cannot stress this enough. Reinforce that they made the right decision working with you. It's going to increase their LTV. It's going to increase your retention rate. They're going to be very, very happy with working with you. Great. So you are getting your client great results. They're super happy working with you. You're learning a lot. It's time to grow, right? That leads me to number 6. The two most important metrics for scaling. So the only two metrics you need are LTV and acquisition. LTV being lifetime value, acquisition being new clients acquired. The fastest growing companies in the world, they don't have the best marketing, they don't have the best sales team, sometimes they don't even have the best product. They have the longest client retention. If you sign someone, keeping them on for as long as possible is single-handedly going to be the needle mover. It's going to be the money maker. If you sign a client every 2 months and you lose a client every 2 months, how do you expect to grow? You're essentially a dying business. Creating a system that keeps your clients happy by consistently delivering good results is key. Number two, acquisition. Yes, you can keep your clients forever and you can even upsell them later on, but getting new clients is going to be the number two most important metric for growing and scaling your business. So once you have your first client and you have proof of concept that you can kick butt within X industry, it's time to up the amount of outreach you're doing. If you're still spending $100 a day or you're still only sending 100 DMs a day, it's time to up that. It's time to double that, right? If you're booking one sales call a week, it's time to book two sales calls a week, and so on and so on. Scale accordingly until you need to hire another person, and then rewind this video, watch the hiring process, and just make sure that you're building systems to acclimate for this new acquisition that you are implementing. So these two factors, LTV and acquisition, are really the only two metrics that matter in regards to scaling a business. And if you're looking to scale your agency, these are the only two metrics you need to know.